And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's keep it moving with more of these top headlines. Live Now look there over the London skyline, the nighttime skyline view. Well, we want to talk about the royal family and Prince Harry here. Well, this is what we know. I want to read this from the Associated Press. They have it as follows. Prince Harry said he wants to reconcile with his family after losing a court battle just today over his publicly funded security. He said led his father, King Charles III, to stop talking to him. This was a widely publicized, widely talked about interview on the BBC. Harry saying this, quote, "I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing to fight anymore." He said, "I don't know how much longer my father has." But Harry took aim at Buckingham Palace after the Court of Appeal rejected a bid to restore his police protection detail that was stripped by a government committee when he stepped away from his royal duties and moved to the United States. Now, the Duke of Sussex said he was devastated to lose the case that was a source of friction with his 76-year-old father, the king, who is, remember, being treated for an undisclosed cancer. Harry has met with him once, briefly, since his diagnosis early last year. Harry said in the interview that aired 3 hours after the ruling, quote, "He won't speak to me because of this security stuff." So, Harry, remember, he is estranged from his family since departing the UK. He wrote that tell-all memoir last year titled Spare, with embarrassing details about the House of Windsor. He said today's court verdict meant it would be impossible to safely bring his family back to the United Kingdom. He says this, "Whether you're the government, whether you're the royal household, whether you're my dad, my family, despite all our differences, do you not want to just ensure our safety?" So in the meantime here, we do want to talk about this. This is getting a lot of attention. Let's bring into the program here British royal journalist Kinsey Schofield, host of the very popular the YouTube show Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered. She joins us. Kinsey, good to see you here. I know you've been following this extremely closely. It seems like everyone has who follows the royals so closely, and including there in London across the pond. I guess my first question is, why is Harry, now that he lives here stateside, why is he so insistent on making sure he has the requisite security he feels he needs to go about his daily life? He's not in the UK anymore.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, he kept talking about the RBM. So why would Prince Harry receive regular risk management board assessments if he's no longer living in the UK? He lives in the United States of America. That within itself is asking for special privileges. And, I think that he almost probably purposely tries to make it sound like his security has been stripped from him. But the reality is Prince Harry is given security. We don't know the extent of the security as long as he gives the government 28 days notice as to what he's doing, when he's coming. And then RAVIC, which is this authority that determines what type of security he gets, they determine based on the current climate who's going to be there to meet him when he lands at the airport. Is it around the clock security, and what extent his security will be based on what he plans to do when he gets there, and based on if he gives them a proper warning. And he's saying, I want what my brother has. I want, no matter what, 24 hours security to know guaranteed when I land. And there's a real question, because the majority of my media is in the UK. There's a real question of, do you truly believe that your life is in jeopardy? Your wife and you are going back and forth to New York. Meghan's saying Broadway shows. She's got a 4-car motorcade. She's posting pictures of your children online. Or is this a chase for status? Is this the insistence on being treated as royals? You want the same thing that your brother has. Meghan, who told the Queen that she would no longer go by Her Royal Highness title, is going by HRH. Privately, we saw that blow up this week, how she has secretly been referring to herself as HRH. Some people feel like it's less about security and more about this real desperation to prove that they are still within the proximity of the British royal family, because that has been the only way they've been capable of making money in the last 5 years, their association with the royals.
So, Kinsey, I have to ask too. This seems, though, the security question to be some type of proxy battle that Harry is waging publicly with his family still in the UK. Of course, King Charles, his brother, Prince William here. It seems like at the root of it, it's a proxy battle amongst estranged family members, but security is the issue.
I mean, yes, there are so many estranged family members in the scenario. I can't stress to you enough how much when he mentions my father won't take my calls, my heart ached for Thomas Markle, who has done the TV rounds for the last 7 years, saying Meghan Markle won't take my calls. I'd love to meet my grandchildren. A lot of this is just absolute family dysfunction, is it not? Yes, Prince Harry wants to know that his family is secure. He wants to know that his family is safe in the UK. I can't stress enough how much I know in my heart, having worked with a lot of these people, that King Charles would ensure that Prince Harry and his family were safe if they decided to come visit the UK. It's interesting to me. I don't know how much you know about the death of Princess Diana, but you know, Prince Harry brings it up a lot. He even brings it up in this interview, saying he doesn't want history to repeat itself when it comes to his wife Meghan and him. He brought it up again when he said that there was a near catastrophic car chase in New York a few years ago when Meghan was there to receive a podcast award, and talks about the death of Princess Diana in a Paris tunnel because she was being chased by the paparazzi. But this particular interview with the BBC, to me, is an example of his lack of loyalty. Since Harry has moved to the United States just within the last few years, despite Diana passing away 30 years ago, an inquiry determined that the BBC actually concealed critical details about how journalist Martin Bashir obtained the information that he used to secure his interview with Princess Diana in that panel, that very famous Panorama interview. He forged these documents saying that Princess Diana's security was secretly spying on her. She dismisses her royal protection, and within months, she passes away in a Paris tunnel, her royal protection officer saying, we would have never allowed her to be in that position. And for Prince Harry to turn around and give his exclusive to the BBC, who within the last year or so was actually found to be, you know, that was found to be something incredibly, their journalistic integrity completely thrown out the window in this case. To me is just, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's my question too. At the outset, when Harry and Meghan moved to the United States, one of their rationales was they wanted to lead a quieter life. And you can make an argument that the kind of exact opposite is going on. This BBC interview comes out after the ruling today. Obviously, you can make the assumption it was taped well before the ruling, but also, you know, Meghan Markle with her series on Netflix and her multiple podcast appearances. I referenced Harry's memoir, Spare, last year. Do they really want to recede into the quiet, into the night, or not?
Absolutely not, especially Meghan Markle. I mean, I do think that that's something we constantly talk about in the royal watching community. Meghan Markle has pursued fame all of her life, and Prince Harry detests it. Meghan Markle was auditioning for Shakira music videos when, you know, Prince Harry was dodging cameras while at school at Eton. They're very different people. You know, Prince Harry just last weekend was in New York campaigning to keep children off of social media. Meanwhile, Meghan was posting video of Lily talking about how beautiful her jam was. It's really bizarre to watch this all unfold. And, you know, back to the idea of safety, how are we to take Prince Harry seriously when he talks about his concern for the UK? When he left, the last time he was in court, he got on a plane and went straight to war-torn Ukraine. In the last year, he's visited Nigeria, Colombia, known for its role in the cocaine trade. These are extremely dangerous places. So the contradictions when it comes to these two are endless.
So I want to read this because the thing that really struck me in the entire story today and the ruling, Harry is kind of calling on Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, to kind of intercede on his behalf. That really struck me. But we have a statement in from Buckingham Palace. They say this, that the issue has been meticulously examined by the courts, quote, with the same conclusion reached on each occasion. So the security issue aside, if Harry puts that to rest and puts that to bed here, and he says he wants to reconcile with his family, if the security issue were over, couldn't he just come to the UK? His father's undergoing these cancer treatments. Do you buy his reconciliation line? Does he really want to do it?
Actions speak louder than words. It's so funny that you say that about the prime minister, because remember when Harry and Meghan complained about the car chase in New York, Prince Harry was sending threatening letters to the NYPD. This came out in a court. These emails, word for word, exist on the internet if anyone's curious. Because Prince Harry wanted to use these letters, or he wanted the NYPD basically to testify on his behalf for his UK security. And so he was writing the NYPD, trying to convince them to take up for him and say that there was this near catastrophic car chase in New York, when the NYPD and the mayor were saying, you know, they're exaggerating immensely. And one of the lines Prince Harry said was that he didn't want to have to get Governor Gavin Newsom of California involved. So basically threatening the NYPD with our governor. Meghan was asked this week on one of two podcasts that she appeared on if she wanted to run for office, and she said no. And my argument is, I think that these two like having some of these contacts so that they can use them to try to bully people into getting their way. But the palace is absolutely right. King Charles has not gotten involved in this because constitutionally it would be absolutely inappropriate for him to insert himself. And he hasn't. He's allowed everything to unfold the way it's supposed to.
So has his brother weighed in on any of this, Prince William? Have we heard from him recently, not just on the security question, but on kind of the Harry-Meghan dynamic?
Prince William is staying above the fray. I mean, what frustrates me so much about this is that it's Princess Charlotte's 10th birthday today. So I imagine that Prince William and Catherine, who just celebrated their 14th wedding anniversary this week, would like to be just sitting around the kitchen table, cutting the cake, celebrating their child or whatever. But unfortunately, they are dodging text messages and phone calls from friends and family saying, can you believe what he said? Prince William's been very good about, just staying above the fray. And I think that that's what frustrates Prince Harry and Meghan Markle often, that they feel ignored by the royals. The last time we really saw Prince William address anything associated with Harry and Meghan's accusations was when someone yelled at Prince William right after the Oprah Winfrey interview, is the royal family racist? And he said, absolutely not. No, we're not. And that's really been the only time we've seen him acknowledge it. And it's funny because, a year later, Prince Harry backtracked on that comment, said they're not racist. It was unconscious bias. And I just want to stress, he can say he wants a reconciliation all he wants, but he says in this BBC interview that he has no regrets. He doesn't regret it at all, is what he said. He continues to take no accountability for his own destructive actions. He says that his father's not talking to him because of the security issue. That might be a part of it, but you also insulted your stepmother, insulted your sister-in-law by including private text messages between her and Meghan Markle in Spare. Yes, they accused somebody of racism. He insulted his brother, talked about a private incident they had where a necklace and a dog bowl was broken.
So,
there's been so much that he's done that might be the reason his dad chooses not to talk to him.
But he does have a point. King Charles is coping with the cancer diagnosis and cancer treatments. He's 76 years old. Harry has a point to say he doesn't have that much time left. As estranged family members go, it's just not the royal family. There are many estranged, dysfunctional families out there. Siblings don't talk. Parents and children don't talk. That's a key feature of the human existence. It's not just the royal family. But if Harry is true, reconciliation maybe could happen. Last point here, do you see that happening anytime soon?
I don't, because Harry and Meghan have proven to not be very trustworthy. They have a complicated history with not only their memories, but the truth in general. There were multiple historic inaccuracies in Prince Harry's book, Spare. And they have been caught lying, like when Meghan said that Archie's lack of princely title was linked to his skin color. It was actually based on a 1917 decree limiting prince and princess titles to the children of the monarch and children of the monarch's sons. Archie eventually became a prince once his grandfather ascended to the throne. But I don't. I think that they don't trust Harry and Meghan. And I also think Harry and Meghan add the additional stress that you do try to avoid when you have cancer. You're just trying to heal and focus on the positive.
All right, Kinsey Schofield, we'll have to leave it at that. Thanks so much for your time on this Friday night. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, in the meantime here, just a few more top royal headlines. I want to put this up from another royal journalist. That's a great follow on social media, Cameron Walker. He has this news that the King and Queen will make a royal visit to Canada, May 26th and 27th, where His Majesty will open the new Parliament in Ottawa. Also, the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, acknowledging this as well in a photo with King Charles and the handshake. Carney says later this month, Canada will have the privilege of welcoming their Majesties, the King and Queen, to Canada, where His Majesty King Charles III will deliver Canada's speech from the throne. Carney says this historic honor matches the weight of our times. So, King Charles traveling to Ottawa later this month for the opening of Parliament there after Carney just won a pretty decisive victory on Monday night to serve another 4 years there as Prime Minister in Ottawa.